It is final exam season, and students at Columbia University were probably in the library studying for their exams when a gigantic swarm of students came to protest against Israel, and they stormed the library at Columbia. One of them was Maggie Gyllenhaal's daughter, Ramona Sarsgaard. I had never heard of this girl before, but she is 18 years old. She is a legacy student. Not only her
the whole family went to Columbia.
Yeah, her uncle, Jake Gyllenhaal, went there before dropping out. Her grandmother also went there, and I believe she has another relative who is on staff as a professor there. So she is basically sent to this Ivy League school as the Nepo baby of a couple of Hollywood elites, and it's her playground to cause political unrest. And she was then arrested for her participation in this protest on a charge of trespassing. I don't know how that works because she is a student there, so I don't know.
So like what happened was, because I was writing about this last week. I'm fascinated by all crazy things that happened at Columbia. A bunch of students were studying in the Butler Library, which is the main library, and it's connected to another smaller library, but like that's where everybody always is when they're studying. It's like the place, it's the south side of the quad. So all these students are in there studying, and all of these people like show up and storm their way in.
Right.
And the way that they got arrested for trespassing is that public safety, which is a group of, like Columbia affiliated officers that Columbia decided they had to hire in order to comply with Trump's whole federal funding ban thing. So they said, you can show us your ID and leave, or you can not show us your ID and get arrested.
Okay, so she decided not to ID herself as a student and chose to get arrested for clout?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's clout. And if you see the people like getting arrested on that day and being escorted out the back of the building, they're all like,
oh my god,
very pleased with themselves. Last year, Ilhan Omar's daughter got arrested for trespassing and whatever at Columbia, and because she was a Barnard student. And Ilhan Omar was there on campus being like, oh, you guys are so good, calling for, destruction of Israel, yay. Yeah.
What is the makeup of Columbia? That's mostly wealthy families, I assume?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of foreign students.
Okay.
There's definitely a lot of wealthy students. There's a lot of people on scholarship because they have their whole diversity thing.
Okay.
And so they make sure.
But in the show Blue Bloods, Frank Reagan, who plays the police commissioner of New York City's his granddaughter goes to Columbia, and she like wants him to speak at the college, and they're like, that's a horrible idea, because they're going to be mad at him. They're going to call him a fascist. This was back in 2015. This episode was, and he goes and he gets shouted down
for being the police commissioner.
For being the police commissioner, and she goes by her dad's last name at school so that she doesn't get pushback. There's also a really funny episode where a girl who talks endlessly about social justice harms herself and like fakes an attack on herself to get sympathy. So it lets you know where the writer's views lie or did lie on that show.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal's daughter was one of nearly 80 agitators arrested storming the library last week, and at least 2 of these school safety officers were injured. The charge was criminal trespassing. I don't think there's a mugshot out there anywhere.
I didn't see one.
She wasn't confirmed to be suspended by the school, but there were several students who were suspended as a result.
Also, the last name is Sarsgaard, not Skarsgård.
Yeah. She's Peter Sarsgaard's daughter. I have an inkling.
Famous person too?
Yeah. He's a director, I believe.
That's right.
But I have an inkling this might come from some sort of teenage rebellion against her parents, because her dad is presumably more an Israel supporter.
I have no idea what either of her parents think about politics.
Well, he hasn't been very outspoken about it, but last year he was filming this movie that was seen as pro-Israel propaganda called September 5th, which was about the Munich massacre. And while that was filming, they were actually getting protested. But it's the movie is about Palestinian terrorists who took Israeli Olympian athletes hostage in 1972. So the fact that he was
And
so
killed them.
involved in that
Wasn't
movie,
there murdering too?
I didn't watch the movie or read up on the Munich massacre, so I'm not sure, but people presumed that based on his involvement in that movie last year that her dad is pro-Israel, and she obviously is incredibly anti-Israel.
Funny that he was the district attorney in the Batman, given that she played obviously Rachel.
Right.
Maggie Gyllenhaal played Rachel in The Dark Knight.
And Maggie Gyllenhaal hasn't really said much about the issue either, but she did play an Israeli billionaire in a TV series back in 2014 who was using her family business to promote peace and resolution between Israel and Palestine. And other than that, I haven't seen anything about Maggie Gyllenhaal's stance. But Ramona's grandmother, Maggie Gyllenhaal's mother, is also pro-Palestine and went to Columbia and recalls being involved in political unrest on the campus as well back in her day.
What was that, like 68 or something?
She said in an interview like 20 years ago, I went wild about her time at college, where her best friend was Eleanor Stein, who went on to become the fugitive leader of the terror group Weather Underground. The radical leftist outfit undertook a number of attacks in the U.S., including the March 1970 bombing of a Greenwich Village townhouse. She said, "I still thought we could do it in the system." And yeah, it seems like she comes from a long line of political agitators, so it's perfectly within the realm of possibility for her. But I do think this is more teenage rebellion against her parents than it is about her own ideological worldview.
Well, I mean, that's kind
It's
of
about rebelling against dad, you know?
I feel like that's been like something we've kind of pushed into Americana, is that your job in college is to go and protest and find out who you are by caring about a country that has nothing to do with you.
And she's never had to earn anything in her life. And she's at Columbia because of her parents, obviously. So at this point, she's just bored. And
it used to be that you're supposed to go to college and like make a mess of everything, but not in political way.
Yeah.
Make a mess of your own life.
You were
and
supposed
not
to
other
like
people's
drink
lives.
a lot and ride around in shopping carts and pledge for sororities or whatever.
Yeah,
Is that what it's
yeah.
called? That's what you were supposed to do before, and now you're supposed to do this. And a lot of it is because the professors have decided that their job is to teach you how to be activists. Like last year on Columbia's campus, right, which was ridiculous. They set up all these tents on the quad and like were using camp bathrooms, like camp toilets, and they're paying like tuition is $60,000, right? You get a dorm.
Yeah,
you
these
have,
are all
like,
kids with access to...
You have an apartment in Manhattan, and you're choosing to like poop in a bucket on the lawn like an animal. I mean, it's just so disgusting.
This is
But they
because-
all showed, like, so professors showed up at the protest last year and were like, "You're out here living what we taught you.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing." I mean, it's so ridiculous. This is what they thought that's the most important thing to teach these kids, is how to go tear up the university that is paying their rent and whatever else.
It's because we got rid of bullying, and it would have been jocks and frat bros and finance bros bullying these people before, calling them dorks. And
We have
now
a
we can't do that anymore.
20 from the Manic Mustache. I spent hours watching shorts of the restoration of antique lighters, so when the apocalypse finally comes, I'll have the skills set to effortlessly make fire while atop my red battle panda. Kids survival book coming soon.
It is. See, it's
That's
always
fun.
good to watch people. I like shorts and videos of like the restoration of vintage video game systems, where they take it completely apart, they clean it, they put in new components and everything. And I think about how I could never in my lifetime have the attention span to do that, but I certainly have the attention span to watch somebody else do that. It's very sad.
We have another story of rebellion against parents, though, in the case of Vivian Wilson, Elon Musk's estranged trans-identifying child, male to female. Vivian was seen dancing at a drag event recently to just show, Elon what for.
Oh, see, I mean, that's the thing, though. I don't think that the kid said anything about this being about her dad. TMZ kind of said that because it ends up being the way TMZ frames it ends up being the last thing that people actually believe. It's like when somebody says like, I don't care about my haters, but yet you took the time to acknowledge them, which means you do care.
TMZ says Vivian was fully in her element at RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars party in NYC, showing off her moves, whipping her hair, and catwalking like it was Fashion Week, all while the crowd hyped her up.
Dragging out these moves just for you, Dad, which is just another way of saying you're living rent-free in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you didn't care, you wouldn't care. But that's not the kid saying this. This is TMZ's interpretation.
Well, it does seem that Vivian has major fixation with, you know, talking shit about Elon in the public eye. And that's really all he is known for, is talking about the fact that Elon is his dad and that he's a monster. But, I mean, I think this is a natural consequence of the way that Elon creates these weird family structures because he wasn't involved.
See, in the chat, Rick C says, we don't care. See, I think if you take the time to say that you care at least a little bit.
Yeah, at least like just a smidge.
The amount of people who come into like videos that we do and are like, who cares about this? It's like you literally took the time to click on the video to watch. So in some way, shape, or form, you do. However minuscule that might be, you do care.
PCC cares.
Yeah. We care.
We're making a heart right now if you're listening rather than watching.
Yeah, it does seem weird that Vivian takes so much time to go after her dad instead of his dad. Do you guys have pronoun
I said
rules?
his because it's a male.
Fine. It's definitely a male person.
Yeah.
But it takes so much time to go after Elon Musk instead of doing something on their own merit. You know, to like maybe he has no merit.
Living well is the best revenge. If you actually wanted to get revenge on Elon Musk, you would just go and live your life and be happy.
What do you mean? Vivian is living her best life slaying.
And to be fair, Vivian did not say that this was for her dad.
No, just shared a
His
video,
dad,
right?
whatever.
Just shared a video of the...
Yeah. Well, I mean, then did you just not share any videos for the rest of your life ever to prove that you don't care? I don't know.
The sense of entitlement is just crazy.
Yeah. I guarantee you Elon is still paying somehow.
Oh, yeah,
There's still money involved in this.
And these,
definitely like child support, right?
Well, Vivian is an adult, so not child support, but definitely, you know, there is money flowing. Like, there's no way that Vivian is completely cut off from
this is the one where Elon said, like, the woke mind virus took my son.
Yes, yes, correct. And maybe not the only one, because he's an absentee father, and he should probably take responsibility for that.
And for all of the rest of them.
Yeah.
Well, he does like to talk about population collapse and all these things. Everything except for, like, getting a Father's Day card.
Bro is talking about population collapse and has one son that sterilized himself for life.
Well, you know what it is? He's like, look, 12 out of 13 ain't bad.
Right.
Like,
it's just a numbers game at this point.
he's like, Grok, how many more do I have to create to make up for this?
Yikes.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.